and we have countlessly proven you to be a liar in Russiagate, in January 6th. You are the biggest fraud to ever sit in the United States Senate. You are a disgrace to this institution.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the sound of someone finally saying to Adam Schiff's face what half of America has been yelling at their TVs for years. The gloves are off. FBI Director Kash Patel walked into the Senate, sat across from the man who spent 4 years peddling the Russia hoax, and absolutely dismantled him. Stick around, because we're breaking this down scene by scene. You do not want to miss what just happened. Welcome back, patriots. If you've been waiting for real accountability in Washington, today feels like Christmas morning. We've got brand new footage from the Senate Judiciary Committee, and let me tell you, it's explosive. Adam Schiff, yes, Shifty Schiff himself, thought he was walking into that room to intimidate Kash Patel. He thought he'd set a few perjury traps, grab a slick soundbite, and run back to CNN for applause. Instead, he got steamrolled. Patel didn't just answer the questions. He exposed the entire sham. You're about to watch Schiff try and fail to trap him over firing corrupt agents. Then comes the bizarre pivot into a Jeffrey Epstein conspiracy. The irony is almost too perfect. And finally, the fireworks. Patel looks Schiff dead in the eye and calls him exactly what he is: a coward.
In the firing of even a single FBI agent for political retribution.
None for political retribution.
And if any FBI agent said you did, they would be lying. Is that your testimony?
I'm only speaking to my actions. Everybody is allowed to make their allegations.
Well, no, these are allegations against you. And so, Mr. Patel, if FBI, senior FBI agents or employees said that you were firing them for political retribution reasons because of the cases they were assigned, you're saying they would be lying.
Anyone that was terminated at the FBI was done so for failing to meet the standards, uphold their constitutional oath, and effectuate the mission.
Well, by meet the standards, are you talking about meet the standards of protecting the president under any circumstance?
No.
You also guaranteed Senator Blumenthal that every FBI employee will be held to the same, absolute same standard. No one will be terminated for case assignments. Are you testifying today that you never terminated anyone at the FBI, in whole or in part, because of a prior case assignment?
Okay, pause right there. Do you see what Schiff is doing? This is a classic lawyer's word game. He's carefully using phrases like in whole or in part because he's trying to box Patel into a trap. Schiff already knows the truth. There were politically biased agents inside the FBI. Everyone knows it. The Durham report confirmed it. So when Patel starts cleaning house and removing the rot, Schiff doesn't want to call it accountability, he wants to label it retribution. Why? Because if Schiff can frame it that way, he gets his narrative. He wants the public to believe Patel is firing people simply because they investigated Trump, not because they abused their power or poisoned the institution. That's the game. And Patel isn't falling for it.
Because they were assigned to a January 6th case or assigned to the Mar-a-Lago case? You're being very precise here, Mr. Patel. You're saying alone. That means they were fired in part because they were assigned those cases. Is that your testimony?
Absolutely not. But if you want to keep putting words
in
my mouth,
then let me ask you, let's strip away the word alone. Did you terminate or participate in any discipline of any FBI employee in whole or in part because of their work on an investigation of Donald Trump or January 6th? Yes or no?
Any terminations at the FBI by employees?
No, I'm asking you a very specific question.
And I'm going to answer the question, but you don't like the answer because it's the truth. And it guts
I want an answer to my
narrative.
question. I don't want an answer to someone else's question. So let me just be precise, and I asked for a yes or no answer. Did you ever terminate or discipline an FBI employee in whole or in part because they had been assigned or worked on an investigation of Donald Trump or January 6th?
FBI employees are only terminated if they fail to uphold their oaths of office
and duty. You're not answering my question.
I don't have to answer your question yes or no because you're setting up a trap so you can have a media narrative.
I'm not setting up a trap,
and I'm not giving it to you.
Unless it's true that you fired people.
People have been terminated at the FBI who failed to uphold the standards that the FBI requires them to uphold.
Look at Schiff unraveling. He's completely fixated on semantics. What about in part? What about 10%? He's desperate to land something, anything. But Patel isn't taking the bait. He stands his ground. You don't get fired for the case you worked on. You get fired because you broke your oath or failed to do your job. Period. That's called meritocracy, Adam. It's called accountability. I know those are foreign concepts inside the swamp, but in the real world, if you're bad at your job or worse, politically biased inside a law enforcement agency, you get shown the door. Schiff looks frantic here. He's fishing for a slip-up, a stray word, a gotcha moment. And Kash Patel gives him nothing but a brick wall.
Tell that to someone at the FBI.
Say that I would remove people for case assignments?
That people that were identified as having worked on cases against President Trump would be removed from their jobs. Did you tell that to someone at the FBI?
People are not removed for
just
case
answer my
assignments.
question. Just answer my question. Did you tell that to someone?
People are not removed for case
No,
assignments.
you're not answering my question.
And I would
Mr.
never
Patel,
tell anyone.
Did you tell someone at the FBI that FBI employees identified as having worked on cases against President Trump would be removed from their jobs? Yes or no? Did you tell someone that?
I would never tell anyone at the FBI that they're being removed for basically their case assignments.
Okay, so anyone who said that would be lying. Is that your testimony?
Anyone can say whatever they want.
No, I know, but you're saying they were a liar.
I'm telling you what I said.
Because this is in the complaint against you, Mr. Patel. So you're saying Mr. Driscoll and others are liars?
I'm not going to address the complaint in the ongoing
Okay, well then let me ask you, have you ever told anyone at the FBI that the FBI tried to put the president in jail and he hasn't forgotten it, and that your job depended on the removal of agents who worked on cases against the president?
No.
Did you ever tell anyone that?
No.
Okay. Did you ever tell anyone that you knew these summary firings you were undertaking were illegal, likely illegal, and that you would be sued and later deposed? Did you ever tell anyone that?
No firings at the FBI or terminations were done for anything other than justified
Did you ever
cause.
tell anyone that, Mr.
No,
Patel? Why don't you
no
answer my question?
terminations at the FBI were ever done in my tenure for anything other than failing
Did you ever
to
tell
uphold
anyone
their
that,
oath of
Mr. Patel? You willing to
office
answer
or
the question?
The FBI.
I guess
I
you're
have
not willing to
answered
answer the
it.
question. So let me move on. Let me move on to the Epstein files. You said you're the most transparent FBI director in history, so I'm going to put you to the test. In 2024, you were asked by Glenn Beck about Epstein's Black Book. And you said, he asked, who has Jeffrey Epstein's Black Book? And you said, Black Book FBI. And he said, but who? That is, I mean, there's, and you said, oh, that's under the direct control of the director of the FBI. That's what you said. Was that true, Mr. Patel?
I'll rely on you quoting it accurately. I did that a couple
Was
of
it
years
true
ago.
what you represented to Mr. Beck and the president's supporters out there, or were you lying?
No,
Was it true that the Black Book, Epstein's Black Book, was in the possession of the FBI director?
The Black Book was in the possession of the FBI.
Okay, so now that you're the FBI director, you have possession of the...
Oh, this is rich. Really rich. Adam Schiff, the same guy who spent years pushing the Steele dossier, the same guy who swore he had evidence in plain sight of Russian collusion that magically never appeared, is now floating a brand new conspiracy theory. This time, he's implying that Kash Patel is somehow hiding Jeffrey Epstein's accomplices. Give me a break. Patel's response here is spot on. He calmly points out the obvious. This issue has been reviewed under 3 different administrations: Obama, Trump, and Biden. 3. Not 1. Not 2. But Schiff isn't interested in facts. He's trying to suggest Patel is protecting Trump officials, because that's the only move he's got left. Same playbook, different headline. Russia, Russia, Russia didn't work. So now it's Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. It's tired. It's transparent. And honestly, it's pathetic.
Himself. And you said himself, there's no credible information, none. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And Kennedy, the information we have again is limited. And Senator Kennedy said the answer is no one. And you said for the information we have. So is it your testimony today that in all the Epstein files, that Jeffrey Epstein trafficked no one to anyone but himself? Is that your testimony, Mr.
I never
Patel?
said Jeffrey Epstein didn't traffic anyone else.
Did he traffic any young woman to someone other than himself? That was Mr. Kennedy's question,
And
Senator
I
Kennedy's
said
question.
the information that 3 administrations have had access to
I'm
have
asking
made
you-
determinations that there are no investigative leads that were credible to prosecute and investigate any others. I'm
Well,
specifically
I'm asking
stating
you whether
we
it's
were
your
working
testimony today.
on. You just read it.
He's really reaching now. Schiff is actually insinuating that Patel personally moved Ghislaine Maxwell to a cushier prison to keep her quiet or something. It's absurd. And Patel's reaction is exactly what everyone watching is thinking. I'm the FBI director. I'm in the middle of historic reform. This idea that he's secretly micromanaging prison transfers as part of some shadowy cover-up is laughable. Schiff has completely left the realm of serious questioning at this point. This isn't oversight, it's desperation.
So you can go raise money for your
and for good
charade.
reason.
You are a political buffoon at best.
Well, you can take an internet troll.
Take
and
it
make-
to
you
the
can
bank
take
that
an
the
internet-
FBI is protecting
can
this
make an
country
internet troll,
and the state and
the
citizens
FBI
of the
director
California.
will
We are
care
bringing
about nothing
historic
more than an
reform.
internet
Historic.
Point of order.
But all you care about is a child sex predator that was prosecuted by a prior administration, and the Obama Justice Department and the Biden Justice Department did squat. And what did President Trump do? Bring new charges courageously. And what have we done?
Chairman,
you set
take
up the
control
most
of the
transparent
situation.
FBI director in history.
Take control of the
33,000 pages of information to you. I challenge you to say anything credibly to the truth. Go ahead and run to the cameras.
You're the biggest fraud to ever sit in the United States Senate. I want that on a t-shirt. I want it on a bumper sticker. Schiff tries to fire back, calling Patel a political buffoon, but he's stuttering. He's rattled. He's not used to anyone pushing back. He's used to people sitting there politely while he smears them on national television. And Patel calling out Russiagate straight to his face. That's poetic justice. Let's be clear about this. Adam Schiff used his powerful position on the Intelligence Committee to lie to the American people for years. He pushed a hoax, knew it was a hoax, and kept pushing it anyway. He did real damage to this country, more than most members of Congress ever will. And for once, someone with real authority looked him in the eye and said what needed to be said. Called him out. Called him a coward. Schiff tried to grandstand. Instead, he got steamrolled. Folks, this hearing wasn't just a win for Kash Patel. It was a win for everyone who's sick and tired of the lies, the smears, and the double standards in Washington. Schiff played his usual games, and this time, he got exposed. Let me know in the comments. Do you agree with Kash Patel? Is Adam Schiff the biggest fraud in Senate history? I think we all know the answer.